Southern Fried Gaming 2025 has concluded, and it was a freaking blast. We're going to talk all about it, more specifically the pinball stuff. So let's get it. Now, first and foremost, it was great meeting some of you. I actually got to put faces with names. That was really cool. Glad I got to meet each of you. But I also got to say a huge thank you to Jason and Josh from Classic Gamers, because without them, we would not have had pinball machines there, the new stuff. And honestly, I've been coming for a number of years now, and until you're there for, and I wasn't there for setup, but I was there for the breakdown, and until you're actually there, it is hard to describe the amount of work. I mean, I can sit back and think about it. They brought, I think, 50 something games that they had to set up, and I believe there was some help for Thursday setup. But Sunday, he said it normally happens on Sunday that nobody shows up to help take down games, and I got there late. I think the game show stopped at like 4, and I got there at 6:30, and they had already had a good bit of stuff done. But I can tell you, we were there literally from 6:30 to 9:30. Those 3 hours, all three of us were strictly just working our butts off, getting machines broke down, getting them packaged up, getting them on the truck. And man, that is a lot of work. And that doesn't include what's got to, happen, what happened today when they got back to the shop and actually got all this stuff, I should say, today. I don't know when this recording's going to go out, but this is Monday. And yeah, they had a whole nother job once they got back to the shop. So huge thank you to Jason and Josh from Classic Game Rooms for bringing out so many great games. Now we're going to talk about Potter, but I'm going to save that for last because we got a bunch of stuff to go over on that. But really, I want to kind of hit my top playing games. Now, I've got to tell you, this is not from a code aspect by any means, but this is literally just walking up to a machine and playing the layout, and really just the layout to me and how it spoke to me. And luckily, we had a lot of great games there. We had everything from King Kong, we had X-Men, we had um, John Wick, we had Dune, we had everything there. I will say we didn't have any American pinball machines there. So they didn't, there was nothing there from them, but we had Stearns, Jersey Jacks, Barrels of Fun games. And I'll be honest, I know I've said this before, but man, it really is such a good time for pinball because I feel like we have such a great selection of games that keep coming out, and you really can't go wrong with any of them. Now, I've got to say, for me personally, I think still my favorite game by far right now, the newest game, is Harry Potter. But Evil Dead by Spooky is fantastic. And for those of us that didn't get on that bandwagon, yes, we're missing out on a great game. It was fantastic. They had 4 machines there. It stayed busy all weekend. The machine plays great. Like, there's so much going on in there. Really, really, really liked Evil Dead a lot. It was really my second. I'll say between that and I'm probably going to get flamed for this, but I really liked X-Men. I know it doesn't get a lot of like to it, but man, it is such a unique layout, and that's what I really enjoyed. I really loved the layout of it. It was just different. It was weird. It was kind of crazy, and maybe I get more time on it because at the shows it gets kind of busy and packed, and so you get a game in, and then you kind of go mosey on, or you may be able to get back in line. But I really enjoyed X-Men, and I'm not going to be honest. I've got to be honest. I mean, King Kong was a great game. I like the layout of it. So, as to say, I think this is a great time. It is a great time. I feel like that Spooky hit it out of the park. I feel like Stearns hit it out of the park. I feel like JJP's hit it out of the park. And honestly, Barrels of Fun, I liked some aspects of Dune. It wasn't my favorite game. It was a good layout, but it wasn't my favorite. It feels a little slow on the flippers, personally, to me. But I will say that the worm, that was, or whatever it is, the wormhole, you know what I'm talking about. That was pretty neat, seeing that as it rises, and like the ball is actually kind of like moving separately to an extent of that, it looks like. So it gives you like this, it's a really cool, neat effect. Um, but it just wasn't my favorite layout, but it was still a great game. Like, I feel like it was a really good game. So in all, I feel like we have such a great plethora of games to choose from that it's really hard to pick just 1 or 2 games here and there. But really the star of the show, I mean, don't get me wrong. Every game had some lines to it, but I do feel like looking at it and going, what I've seen, we had 12 Harry Potter machines there, and they stayed busy. I mean, all the machines stayed busy, but I do think Harry Potter had way more people playing it. The reality is that game, I didn't talk to anybody that was disappointed in that game. Not the first person. There was I as much speculation or much crap as you see on Pinside that really sometimes gets annoying and aggravating, to be honest. Um, the game is amazing. It shoots amazing. Honestly, I still think the artwork's amazing. You know, the only one to me that was maybe has somewhat of a valid point is the dragon. But even then, I'm kinda like, is it really 2 eyes, or was it meant to be another feature of the dragon face? I don't know, but I even hinted around asking people, "Did you notice anything about the art? What do you think about it? What about did you see anything with a dragon?" And nobody noticed anything until I, like, said it. "Well, they're saying it has 2 eyes." They're like, "Oh, I didn't even notice that." The fact of the matter is you don't the dragon is really tiny on the machine. It's really tiny up here. So, unless you're really up in the machine and looking down on it, you're not gonna see it if that is what that is. And I'm not saying it is or isn't. I don't know. But I feel like the rest of the artwork is great, and to me, the game is it doesn't need any more in it, in my opinion. I mean, sure, you could do it 100 different ways, but when you actually play it, it is a fantastic game, and I feel like for those that are even on the fence, once you actually get a game or 2 on it, I think you're gonna fall in love. Everybody at the show talked how great it was and how fast it was. They were surprised at how fast the game actually played, and it does. It comes up with surprises to you. Sometimes like, "Oh crap, there's the ball. Whoa." But it's a very fun game. Fast shooter, good shots in it. I think too, once people actually get it into more of a home setting, because at the show you don't really get a full sense of the game. You can't hear crap there. It's very hard to hear anything. We had 5 the arcade editions, we had 5 Wizard editions, and then we had 2 CEs. And all of them had pre-sold before the show except for 1 CE, and I think it sold sometime Friday night or either Saturday morning or Saturday sometime, but they all got gone. And to me, that's one thing I wanna talk about is what is the right package for you? Because I've seen a lot of people ask about it, and is the Wizard Edition worth the extra money and that and the other. The way I would say to look at Potter is if you are somebody that is like a diehard book fan, then you really probably are gonna lean towards the CE artwork. And I do love the cabinet art. I mean, it's grown on me. I initially seen it, I didn't like it, but then I seen it in person, and I really liked it, and I do really like it. I just don't I don't for me, it's hard to come up with $3,000 extra for it. Plus, I'm a movie person, and I like the artwork from the movie, and that's why I feel like the Wizard Edition, along with the Arcade Edition, is really for somebody that is into the movies. To me, it screams movie. Like, when you look at the Wizard Edition and the Arcade Edition, it really just I don't know, it draws me into the movie side of it. And you have your good side, if you wanna say, and your bad side of the cabinet. It's the clash of Voldemort and Harry. It really, to me, is a fantastic art package. So, CE is probably great for those that are love the books, and then it comes to the people that love the movies, down to the Wizard Edition and the Arcade Edition. And yes, there's $2,000 difference, and you have to decide, are these things worth the $2,000? Invisiglass, I believe, is what they're using on it. You're also getting the powder coated armor. I say armor, it's powder coated um, railing and legs, which I will say to me, everybody's like, some people are talking about it wouldn't be very noticeable in person, but it looks better on camera. Honestly, I felt like it showed up very well in person. I felt like it showed up better in person than it did on the camera. But you're getting the glass, you're getting the powder coat, you're getting the rad cals, which to me is another huge seller. Some people don't think it's that big a deal, but man, when you see rad cows compared to a regular sticker, the sheen on it is really, really beautiful. It's a lot like if you've ever seen Spooky's Butter Cabinet, it's similar to that. I will say Spooky's Butter Cabinet I think is better because they bring the artwork to the corners, which is one of my complaints with Stern and Jersey Jack is that they don't bring the artwork to the corner of the machine. They always kind of leave it off. Spooky is really good about getting that artwork all the way around. But Rad Cows looks amazing on there. It really does. And especially on the dark side, it's more noticeable. You see a really nice sheen to it. But not only that, you're also gonna get the adjuster knob on the front for your volume up and down. Along with it has a Bluetooth button right there on the front. Both the CE and the Wizard Edition have this. So you can pair up really, really pretty quick a set of headphones within a matter of, I would say, 30 seconds or so. I mean, you hit the button, have your earphones out, you select it on the screen, boom, you're hooked into it. That's a really cool feature. Now, I did hear that the arcade edition does have Bluetooth. It just doesn't have it on the front, so I don't or it doesn't have the volume knob. I don't know, and I didn't see a Bluetooth button on the front, but it may have been there. I'd have to figure that out. But you're also gonna get an actual back glass instead of a translight, and it's fully lit instead of just the marquee type lighting, which to me, that you can always go back and put the lights back in there. It definitely, in my opinion, needs the full lighting around to really enjoy it and to really see it. It also, to me, I noticed a few times, it seems like to me that the Translight doesn't quite portray the artwork as good as the back glass does. I feel like, especially when you get into the darker sides of on the like the blue and green side over there, that it really shows more or shows better on the actual back glass than it does on the Translight. But aside from that, you're getting the topper as well, which I'll be honest, the topper it's not great. It is a topper and it is, I guess, technically a tri-level topper. It's not the greatest in my opinion. I also don't think the CE is that great either. It's good. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. I do feel like they left a lot on the table for both of those. So whether or not you see that being beneficial to you, you have to decide. I know for us, it was this. To me, the Wizard Edition was the way to go. You also get the shaker in there. Forgot that. Can't forget the shaker. You're getting that in the Wizard Edition. So, Wizard Edition, you're getting the shaker, the glass, the back glass. You're getting the powder coat. You're getting the front control knob on the volume. You're also going to get the rad cowl. And to me, that was worth it. Now, I know powder coating can really kind of vary quite a bit. I had sent I've sent my Wonka off, and I had sent, my Walking Dead off to have done, and by the time basically I sent my games off to have them done, I had, like, $450, close to it, by the time you count shipping, to have everything powder coated. Now, that did include the coin doors on each, but you can get it a little bit cheaper if you have somebody close by. At the same time, I wanted to make sure I had somebody that had done pinball machines and not just some random shop because I've heard of some horror stories. So, you gotta take that in consideration. For me, it's worth getting the Wizard Edition. You may be just okay with arcade, and I don't feel like you can go wrong with any, to be honest. Whether you're getting the arcade, or I say limited Wizard Edition or the CE, you can't really go wrong with the game. Now, the CE, you're also gonna get the Sparkle playfield. To me, it's not a big deal. It is pretty, but it's not a it's not a deal maker to me. But we had a really good time, and Eric and Dan did a great, um, really a discussion of Harry Potter and some of the things that they were able to do and not able to do, some of the challenges they had. If you guys want to see that video, I'll put it down in the description. I've got the actual video from when we was there. It was streamed, so it's not the greatest of quality. I'll go ahead and tell you, there was nothing asked about the artwork. I wasn't going to ask it because I see no need in it, and nobody else apparently felt the need in it either. I've got to say, 2025 Southern Fried Gaming was fantastic, and I don't know, ready for next year already. But it was definitely a fun time. Some great games, really some great games. I tell you, Kong surprised me. X-Men surprised me, honestly. That surprised me as well. Anyway, I want to end the video off here. Just want to give you guys kind of an update, rundown on some of the Harry Potter stuff. I guess I should mention too, I don't foresee the artwork being changed at all on Harry Potter. Zero chance of it getting changed. I would say it would be like a 0.1% or maybe a 0.5%. I don't think they're changing anything. We're going to end this video off here. I appreciate you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll see you on then.